Hey guys, how's it going? My name is still Blackblade and welcome back to my channel. I'm pretty excited for the next league that's going to come out, specifically because of the brand new skill gem that GGG introduced, which is of course the Blade Vortex. Now the Blade Vortex is actually pretty interesting as it actually looks like it's a cyclone. It has this cyclone effect into it, wherein you release all of these daggers, and then each of those daggers, of course, damages the monsters towards an outward, an outward spiral motion, which I thought was actually pretty interesting. And of course, what's interesting about this is that it's not actually a physical, type of although it does physical damage, but it's not actually physical based. What I mean by that is that it's actually the description is actually spell based, which has an AoE, and of course it has a duration into it, which kind of reminds me about the Summon Raging Spirit skill gem, wherein you release all of these skulls. It's kind of similar to that one, and what's interesting about this is that it is a spell, and then at the same time it is of course dealing a physical damage instead of any element damage at all. In just my humble opinion, instead of physical damage, I think they should have done it in probably chaos damage and all of that, because although we do have some really good chaos damage gems out there, but I think it would be far more interesting if they made this into a chaos chaos damage skill gem. But then anyway, as we can see here, it does not the gem does not actually require us to use any particular weapon. As you can see, an ethereal blade spins around you for a duration, repeatedly damaging enemies that passes through. So it doesn't really tell us that that we have any requirements, whether we need to use daggers or claws or two-handed weapons. So I think that's going to be good. So one of the things that I was thinking about this is you could actually use the skill gem by its own, like in the hold on, like in the example video, he's actually just casting it, which I think could be good. One of the support gems that you could that you would really need if you're going to cast this one manually would be faster casting and other faster casting skill gem. So that would be interesting, but what I think would be a much more interesting build would be to use this one as a COC. So I've devised a kind of like a theoretical build into this. What I was thinking was that I would combine this with either dual strike or with cyclone. I think cyclone would also work well, but for me, I think I'm gonna go with dual strike on this one. And then of course we're gonna add COC right there, and then next would be of course blade of Vortex, or was it blade Vortex or Blade Vortex. Sorry, Blade Vortex, and of course we'll add some additional critical strike chance there. And then for our fifth support skill gem, of course we'll need to increase the duration of the dagger so that they are on for a far, or they are active at a far longer rate. If we're going 6th link, I guess the last option would definitely be Life Leech, since the build that I was thinking would be melee oriented, so you'd be up close and personal with monsters, and Life Leech would enable us to survive much longer within the battlefield, instead of moving away or moving backwards. Now one of the probably most effective weapon that we could use, I was actually thinking about dual wielding a claw, but then my claws aren't really that good when it comes to crit chances, or when it comes to crit build. It is still possible, but the crit chance there will be far lower, not unless you have a really good claw which has a really high critical strike chance. but then I don't have it. But then I do have two Divinarios that's quite good, and the Divinarios will be, you know, amazing for this one, for this build, simply because, you know, it gives us a global critical strike chance. It gives us, you know, increased spell damage, and since that the brand new skill gem, which is the Blade Vortex, is in fact a spell, it would benefit a lot when it comes to the Divinarios dagger. Of course, we get a 80 to 100%, you know, critical strike chance for our spells. We get life on kill, we get mana on kill, and then of course we get that sweet 10% increase AOE. And then if we dual wield that, you know, we get 20% increase AOE, which is going to be good, simply because that, you know, we are going to cover much more space, therefore hitting, you know, much more enemies in the process. Yeah, so that's about it when it comes to the what do you call this? When it comes to the weapons, for our gear, I think there are only three options here. You know, it really depends on what kind of gear or budget we are in. But definitely Maligar's Virtuosity, Rat's Nest, and if we can, you know, we are going to be using the Romera's Banquet for, you know, in order to get, you know, power charges and some additional crit damage multipliers. Now, when it comes to the build, I was actually thinking of either 2 or 3 ways in order to do the build. The first theory that I had was I wanted to go down over to the right side over here to get the Heartseeker to further increase the critical strike multiplier of the of the skill gem. But then again, you know, I thought that I think it would much be better if we could, you know, further increase the skill effect duration of the skill gem. You know, the more daggers that are spinning around us, you know, the better or the more damage that we will be doing over time. So adding, you know, some more critical strike, adding some more increased skill duration, plus the additional increased duration that we are going to add to our support gems, will yield to a much better, you know, damage over time effect. Of course, we'll be passing through down here. Now, I'm still unsure if the increase in physical damage would in fact increase the physical damage of the Blade Vortex, because this is actually categorized as a spell. It's not a you know, anything else besides a spell. So I'm not exactly sure if the increase in physical damage here will affect the skill gem itself. So up until we get into the game itself and we actually experiment on it, we will not be entirely sure. So I just, you know, decided to go down over here to just to get the 3 attack speeds. That would be good because, you know, the faster that we attack, the faster or the more chances of critical strike chances that we could get. Therefore, the more blades that we are going to be casting. More blades, you know, more damage. So that's kind of like the theory of the build here. Of course, life nodes, and then I did pass through over here because there's really no area other than down here to pass or to go through, but then again, you know, we get the increased attack speed with one-handed weapons. Divinaris is one-handed, so we're going to get that sweet 8% increased attack speed. Again, this is going to be a crit build, so I went up here to get the Assassination, Cold-Hearted Calculation, and of course we've gotten the Infuse right there. Of course, we've got the Flaying and the Adder's Touch. Now, the only reason that I got the Flaying was to get, again, the 10% increased attack speed. As you can see, we are getting 3, 3, 3, and then another 10% over there. That's a huge addition to our overall, you know, attack speed, which is going to be amazing and great. Of course, we went up over here to get the some more dagger damage, and of course increased critical chance strikes with daggers. And then of course we've gotten the written with of blood for life. And then, you know, I decided to go over here towards the left side again to get the exceptional performance to further increase the duration of the blades that are circling us. And then you know, in the hopes of my target is to get the 50, you know, 50 blades that are out. But then again, we wouldn't really know because according to this video, if you can see on the upper left corner, there's no indication that how many blades are out. In Summon Raging Spirit, we can see how many there's a counter that's telling us that how many skulls are out, or how many skulls are out. But in here we don't actually know, and I hope that they change that before they release this one, so that we can actually see how many blades we are releasing at any given time, which would be great in min-maxing stuff, in balancing things. Do we really need to further increase the skill duration in order to maximize our damage, not just in theory but in fact? So yeah, we need a counter for that one. And then of course we did go over to the left side over here to get the Constitution for more life, and then to get all of the powerful or the much more powerful life nodes over here. And then of course we went down over here again to take the Twin Terrors, since this is going to be a crit build. And then we've gotten the Thick Skin, and then since this is going to be a melee oriented build, we are going to take the Iron Reflexes for more armor. And then of course towards to the left side here, Art of the Gladiator, Bravery, Master of Arena, Mana Flows for mana management. And then we went down over here towards the Dervish. Now we won't really get any much benefit from the 24% physical weapon damage while dual wielding, I know that, but we are going to benefit from the increased attack speed while dual wielding. The more attack speed that we have, the better chances of us critting. Therefore, the more blades that are going to come out. That's the theory. Alright, so we went down over here to get the finally getting the Golem's Blood. Now this is at 103 points, so you still have what, 2 more points, because 89. If you kill all the bandits, that's an additional 3 points, and then when you reach level 89, you have a total of 105 points, I believe. I could be mistaken. So there's 2 more points over there that we could probably allocate into a jewel socket, or we could allocate it in the new Ascendance patch that's going to come out in the future, wherein we get a whole new circle of brand new skill nodes, which I'm going to discuss in the future. With this build, it's actually pretty good because at least we have 154% of our maximum life increase, as you can see on the left side over there. If you're building any character, you'd really want 140 above percentage of life in order to attain that 4.4k of minimum life requirement, so that you don't die so that you don't die often. When it comes to our crits, I think the crits are doing pretty well. We have 110 over there, and then we have 190%, and then an additional 30% of critical strike multiplier, and then another 60% multiplier with daggers, and of course so I guess that's about it. So my final thoughts of the skill gem, I think this is going to be awesome. You can choose to manually cast this one, but then you're going to go on the upper part of the skill tree, because that's where the spell damage nodes are. And yeah, I think this is going to be a very interesting skill gem, wherein we are going to see a huge variety of builds. Some would go COC, some would probably just cast this one manually, which would also probably be good. Combined with faster casting and then spell echo, some critical strike chances, and probably multiplier. Crit is the way to go with this skill gem, in my opinion. And I guess that's about it. So again, before I end the video, let me know what you think about the build, the topic discussed here in the comment section down below. And thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'm gonna see you guys on the next part of my video. Have a good one. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Blackblade, and welcome to a brand new vlog series featuring our Marauder Ice Crash build. Alright, so let's get into the skill tree real quick right here. Alright, so we are going to start with the Marauder, of course.